Welcome, explorers of the unknown, to mystic empires. Today, we journey to a place where the earth itself holds a secret, a riddle written on a scale so vast it defies human comprehension. We are traveling to the high plains of Peru, to the Nazca Desert, to confront the silent, sprawling enigma of the Nazca Lines. Picture this with me. You are standing on the barren, wind-scoured soil of the Pampas de Jumana. The air is thin and dry. The sun is relentless. Beneath your feet, the earth is a pale, dusty canvas. It feels empty, silent, ancient. It is only when you rise above it, when you leave the perspective of a mere human and take to the sky, that the truth reveals itself. The ground beneath you transforms. What seemed from below to be random scratches and pathways suddenly coalesces into form. A hummingbird, its wings perfectly symmetrical, its beak poised as if sipping from an invisible flower. A spider, over 150 feet long, its legs articulated with impossible precision. A monkey with a spiraling tail. A whale, an astronaut, a condor with wings outstretched as if embracing the sky itself. Over 800 straight lines that run flawlessly for miles, cutting across the landscape with geometric perfection. This is not random. This is design. This is intention. For centuries, these lines were invisible to humanity. The local people knew of the markings, of course, but they walked among them, unable to see the grand tapestry of which they were a part. It wasn't until the 1920s, with the advent of commercial aviation, that pilots flying over the desert looked down and saw the gallery for the first time. The world was stunned. How could such monumental art exist, created by a people who could never see their own work? This is the first layer of the mystery, the first question that hooks into our soul and refuses to let go. The immediate question, the one that has launched 1,000 theories, is the how. How did the Nazca people, who thrived between 500 BCE and 500 CE, create these colossal geoglyphs? They had no satellites, no drones, no blueprints projected from the sky. They had simple tools, their hands, and their minds. The prevailing theory is as elegant as it is brilliant. The Nazca discovered that the desert floor was not just barren soil. It was a canvas made of a dark, rust-colored layer of iron oxide-coated pebbles. By removing these top stones, they exposed the lighter, sand-colored earth beneath. This created a contrast, a line. But how to scale a hummingbird to the size of a city block? How to ensure a line remained straight for 10 miles? The answer lies not in magic from above, but in genius from within. Archaeologists believe they used simple surveying techniques. They would create a small-scale model of their design on a portable plot. Then, using a system of stakes and cords, they would scale it up, transferring the points one by one onto the vast desert floor. A team of workers would then clear the stones along the plotted paths. It was a monumental effort, a testament to communal will and painstaking precision. This was not the work of a day, but of generations. Each line, each animal, each spiral was a project that outlived its creators, a legacy etched into the very skin of the planet. This, how, is not a disappointment, it is an inspiration. It proves that human determination, when focused and collective, can achieve the seemingly impossible. It is a lesson for us all. Your greatest works may not require advanced technology, but they will always demand advanced vision and unwavering perseverance. But the how is only the beginning. The deeper, more haunting question is the why. Why would a civilization dedicate centuries of labor to create art they could never fully appreciate? Art that was, for them, fundamentally invisible. This is where the mystery deepens, and where we find the true soul of the Nazca. Many theories have been proposed. The most popular, put forward by Maria Reich, the German mathematician who dedicated her life to protecting the lines, was that they were a massive astronomical calendar. She believed the lines pointed to celestial bodies on the horizon, marking solstices, equinoxes, and other cosmic events. This connected the Nazca to the heavens, making them master astronomers. Others suggested they were sacred pathways, walked by priests during rituals, a form of spiritual pilgrimage mapped onto the earth. The act of walking the line was a prayer, a meditation, a connection to the divine. Then, of course, come the more speculative ideas. Were they landing strips for ancient astronauts, as Erich von Däniken famously proposed? Were they messages to gods who lived in the sky? While these theories capture the imagination, they often rob the Nazca of their own incredible ingenuity. They take the credit away from humanity and give it to something else. But what if the true answer is even more profound? What if the lines were not for us, and not for aliens, but for the gods the Nazca themselves worshipped? What if they were a form of communication, a desperate and beautiful plea to the forces that controlled their world? Imagine their reality, living in one of the driest places on Earth. Their survival depended on water, a resource as precious as life itself. The mountains to the east captured moisture, and when the rains came, they created temporary, violent rivers that flowed through the desert. The Nazca built sophisticated aqueducts, called puquios, to harness this water. Their entire existence was a fragile balance between life and a desiccating death. In this context, the geoglyphs take on a new, powerful meaning. Many of the figures are animals associated with water. The hummingbird, the spider, the monkey, these are creatures linked to rain, fertility, and life-giving forces. The straight lines often lead to water sources or converge on small hills that could have been used as ceremonial platforms. So, picture the ritual. A community gathers. They have not seen rain for months. The land is parched. Their survival is at stake. A shaman or a priest leads a procession. They don't walk the lines on the ground. They walk alongside them, their chants and prayers rising to the sky. Their ceremony is a performance, a grand display of faith for an audience they believe is watching from above. They are saying, "We are here. We see the hummingbird, the spider, the whale. We have drawn them for you, great gods of the mountain and sky. We honor you. Please, send us the water we need to live." The lines were not meant to be seen by human eyes. They were offerings, prayers made visible to the deities in the heavens. They were an act of faith so immense, so audacious, that it required reshaping the world itself. This changes everything. This transforms the Nazca Lines from a mere mystery into a monumental lesson in human spirit. It teaches us about the power of faith. Not a passive faith, but an active, creative, world-altering faith. The Nazca did not just pray for rain in the privacy of their homes. They went out into the desert, generation after generation, and they changed the landscape to prove their devotion. They invested their greatest resource, their time, their energy, their lives, into a belief that something greater was watching. They built a cathedral, not with stone walls and stained glass, but with the earth itself, with the horizon as its ceiling and the sun as its light. And here is the most inspiring part of their story. The Nazca civilization eventually faded. Their cities were reclaimed by the desert. Their culture passed into memory. But their prayer remained. For 1500 years, through the rise and fall of other empires, through conquests and discoveries, their message endured. It lay silently on the desert floor, waiting. It was a message in a bottle, tossed into the ocean of time, and we are the ones who finally found it. This is the legacy of the Nazca. It is a legacy that speaks directly to you and me, right here, right now. It asks us a profound question. What are the lines you are drawing in the desert of your own life? You see, the Nazca did not know we would ever see their work. They did not create for fame or for legacy in the way we understand it. They created because they believed in something bigger than themselves. They worked for a purpose that transcended their own lifetimes. How often do we, in our modern world, demand immediate gratification? We want our efforts to be seen, our work to be praised, our impact to be instant and recognized. We post, we share, we seek validation in likes and comments. The Nazca stand in stark, humbling contrast. They labored for a result they would never see, for an audience they could not prove was listening. They understood the concept of a long game, of a legacy that echoes through millennia. What is the equivalent for you? What is the work you are doing that is bigger than you? It might be raising a child with love and values that will outlive you. It might be creating a piece of art, writing a book, or building a business that serves a purpose greater than profit. It might be a simple act of kindness that creates a ripple effect you will never witness. It is the commitment to a cause, to a belief, to a principle, even when no one is clapping. Even when the results are not visible. Even when you feel like you are scratching lines in the dirt, unable to see the magnificent hummingbird you are creating. Your life is your pampas de Jumana. From ground level, it can feel chaotic, confusing, a series of disconnected struggles and random paths. You get up, you go to work, You deal with challenges, you care for your loved ones. It can feel mundane, even pointless at times. You cannot see the grand design. But you have to trust that the design is there. Every choice you make from a place of integrity, every act of courage, every moment of perseverance, every expression of love, these are the lines you are drawing. You are the artist, and your life is the canvas. And while you may never rise high enough in your own lifetime to see the full, breathtaking masterpiece you are creating, trust that it is there. It is a masterpiece of character, of impact, of a life well lived. The enduring mystery of the Nazca Lines is not just who made them or why. The ultimate mystery is the sheer power of the human spirit to commit to a vision. It is a testament to our innate need to reach for the transcendent, to connect with the eternal, to leave a mark that says, we were here. We believed. We mattered. The lines have survived earthquakes, sandstorms, and the relentless passage of centuries. They have survived the tread of conquistadors who were blind to their meaning and the wheels of modern trucks that threatened to destroy them. They endure because the message they carry is indestructible. It is a message of hope. A message that says our greatest works are born not from certainty, but from faith. Not from the guarantee of success, but from the courage to try, even in the face of the impossible. So, the next time you feel that your efforts are futile, that your work is going unnoticed, that your contribution is too small to matter, I want you to remember the vast, silent desert of Peru. Remember the people who, with simple tools and extraordinary vision, drew messages to the gods. They did not know we would be here, 1500 years later, gazing down in awe, finding inspiration in their ancient faith. Be your own Nazca. Draw your lines with purpose. Draw them with passion. Draw them for an audience you may never see, for a result you may never witness. Create your hummingbird. Chart your straight path. Build your legacy in the desert of time. Do not be discouraged by the scale of the task or the seeming invisibility of your progress. Just keep drawing, because the world is your canvas, and your spirit is the only tool you need to create a mystery, a masterpiece, that will truly, and forever, endure. This has been Mystic Empires. If you were inspired by this journey into the unknown, if you feel the call to draw your own lines, then share this story. Leave a comment below about what your Nazca line is. And subscribe, because together, we will continue to explore the greatest empires, the deepest mysteries, and the most inspiring truths of our world. Until next time, keep exploring.